Hey everybody, how are you doing today? Um, I am putting this video together. I thought it'd be kind of a neat thing to do, just some real life for us. Um, this is about how to hopefully, because I haven't done it yet, hopefully it works the way that I want it to. But this is how I'm planning on fixing our home diffuser from Young Living. And I've gotten started on it already, hopefully figured out what the problem was, and I'll show you kind of the symptoms and whatnot, and hopefully if you're having the same problems, maybe you can gain something from this video, or we can talk about it. Um, so to be clear, this is the Home Diffuser from Young Living, which we purchased it about, was it 6 months ago or so? Closer to a year. So we've had it for closer to a year. Um, and again, I'll show you what's going on with it. Young Living doesn't sell the home diffuser anymore at all, I don't think. So, and that may have been one of the reasons. Maybe they're having some more problems with it, just mechanically. I'm not sure. They have obviously amazing options out there, but the mechanisms are probably similar with the way in which it diffuses. So maybe some similar repairs can be made. I'm not sure. I'm going to try and cut you off here a second so I can turn around the camera. Alright, sorry about that. Turned around the camera so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So you can see what I am talking about. Getting ready to do some surgery here. Got all my tools laid out. So this, again, is the home diffuser from Young Living. And just to show you right away what's going on. I don't know how well you can hear it or not, but there's a very rough, almost grinding type sound whenever you turn it on, and you can, I'll shut up so you can kind of listen to it. So you can kind of tap it, and at some point, especially if you hit up from the bottom, you can actually make it sort of get back into a rhythm and have it start diffusing, and you can hopefully see it doesn't diffuse as well as it should. So that I actually have taken it apart already, and the sort of this ultrasonic unit here, which we got from diffuserdoc.com for less than $20, hopefully is going to fix the problem, because I believe that is the piece that is going bad, and we'll see that as we take it apart. I will shut this off. Intermittent off. The first thing that I did was clean it, because for us, and actually this might have been the main reason why it failed, or is failing, is because we have hard water. We have a little filter on our sink, just straight off of the tap, a pure water filter, PUR the brand, and I think that takes out some of like the calcium, but you could see, and I doubt you can see in the video, especially after I cleaned it out, but the very center of it, kind of that ultrasonic unit in the middle, was starting to build up, with some of the calcium deposits, and around the edges, and the lid was probably the worst. So there's 2 screws in there. I took the lid apart, I cleaned it all off as best as I could, and actually I found that even just using lemon is a very good way to clean off that calcium, because especially the very middle, kind of that gray area you see, that's the piece that actually vibrates and creates sort of those vibrations to make it a diffuser. That was that was built up way too much than it should have been. And actually what I did, a lot of it, I just took like a screwdriver, because it was so tough. It's pretty much like peeling off rocks. It's calcium. So I took this, and trying not to damage it too much, I tried to put like a paper towel or something over it, because just wiping a cloth wasn't quite enough. That got off some of the residue, but I really had to scrub a little bit to try to get it clean, and really you should do that more often. But anyway, so that's kind of the build-up. On there, possibly, is what made it fault out, but so anyway, I'm gonna empty out the water and take it apart a little bit, and kind of show you how that's done. Alright, quick update. First thing I'd say, if you do happen to get this kit from diffuserdoc.com, it actually comes with a small Phillips head screwdriver, which is somewhere in between my, what is this, number 1x3, and whatever the heck this is. Cobalt, you failed me. You did not tell me what size this is. But anyway, getting the right size Phillips is almost like critical, because I had to use the smaller one and it was almost stripping out the screw last time, and this one was too big to fit in the hole. As you can see in the bottom, one hole, two holes, simple. Unscrew those, pops off, no problem. And then you open it up, and you see stuff. So, I'm gonna get a couple. Actually, I'll show you what I did last time. See, I didn't feel like, figuring out where these wires were going, where they were coming from. I didn't really care. And so I don't know if you can see that or not, but I marked like a little tick mark on each one, like one tick mark on that one, 2 tick marks on that one, 3 tick marks on that one, to be clear, those electrical connectors, so that when I took them off I knew where they went back, because I didn't feel like guessing where they went back. There's a couple more connectors, but they're different sizes, so mark those 3, just make sure you know where they go back. And then I'm going to take everything apart, at least those 2 connectors, so I can get this base off. Alright, so I just had to take off these 2 connectors. You have to be a little bit careful when you take them off, because the connectors here are, they're connected to that motherboard somehow, and it's just plastic pieces, so you have to be kind of careful when you take them off. I used a screwdriver to kind of pry off the connector. There's not really any, much of a tab or anything, but there's a little flange on that connector that you can put in your screwdriver and kind of twist it to pop it out. Not too bad. And so the bottom here is, in case you're wondering, because it's cool to look at, there's your trigger piece here, your start switch, whatever you want to call it, and then just your DC 24 volt in, and that's hooked up there. And then there is a fan in the bottom of this as well, because I was originally thinking that that grinding may have been coming from the fan. I'm assuming it's just a cooling fan, just so that motherboard doesn't get too hot. Just kind of blows out some hot air. But anyway, that was turning fine. I took it off last time. You just keep on taking off screws until it comes out, and it spun freely. It looked like everything was no problems, so hopefully that's the case. And in here, this little plastic housing, just plastic, that's all it is. 2 screws, take those out, and then this is that unit that I'm going to replace, and hopefully I can get that out and get the other one in there. Alright, it literally took me like 15 seconds, not a problem. All I did was stuck a screwdriver in here, kind of pried it around a little bit. It's just a rubber piece. Pop that out, and let's take a look at this here. The video could be clearer, but you can kind of see that calcium buildup actually just around. I was able to clean off the inside a little bit, but really I didn't get it out all the way last time, and I'm assuming that has something to do with the grinding. It's just that vibration is critical to get everything to vibrate. I don't know what was grinding on what, but we'll see. We'll put in. We'll just put in the new piece, and I'll kind of clean up some of this a little bit. Calcium deposits here. Clean those up. Get everything nice and clean, and then stick the new one in. Let's see what happens. Alright, so the what is it called? The diffuser dock part went in just fine. Looked identical, other than they had their own little label on the back, but other than that, exactly the same. I was this black housing. I was actually curious how how it remained waterproof. This is a rubber connector. I don't know if you can see me kind of squishing it a little bit. There is like a rubber coating, or you know, on this piece, and then this housing, when you screw that back in, it seals it in, basically puts pressure in between, you know, this black housing and, you know, your white reservoir. Squeezes those pieces together, squeezes that rubber in there, so it gets a nice watertight seal, hopefully. So I'm gonna all I have to do now is just plug in those connectors back to my base, since I know where they go. Put the top on, put the two screws back, and I think we'll be back in business. Alright, so got it back together, put a little bit of water inside, and got it all cleaned up. Let's put the lid on it and see how it runs. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. So I can't say that I'm 100% sure that it was this part that was a defect, because it was working, it was vibrating. So who knows, maybe it just, you know, that frequency got thrown off somehow. Not sure how, and but thankfully the part wasn't that expensive. Got to put it in there, and it seems to be running great. So super excited about that. Let you see my face so I can close out this video. But yeah, thanks for watching, and it was fun to put it together and get it working again, so that we don't have to bang on the bottom of it to get it to diffuse whenever we want. Yeah, if you have any comments or anything, obviously let me know. We can talk about it, or if you have any suggestions or whatever. This is my first diffuser rebuild. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.